Good morning, virtuals. Welcome back. We are in the classroom. This is P-Dub's room. She's got the best room for recording. And we are going to do a super quick lesson on Greek and Latin roots. Greek and Latin roots are what our language is made of. And if you know what those Greek and Latin roots mean, it helps you figure out larger words when you read. You don't always have to know the dictionary definition of a word. If I asked you, what does the dictionary say about toothbrushing, you probably couldn't tell me what the dictionary said, but you know exactly what it means to brush your teeth. So you don't need to know exactly what a word means, but you do need to know kind of roundabout what does that word mean. Greek and Latin roots help us with that. We have learned the root that means move. Anybody in here remember what any of the roots that mean move? Anybody? To move, we used M-O-T, M-O-B, and M-O-V. All of those are roots from ancient times, and they mean move. So if I'm going to use my mobile phone, I'm going to talk and walk at the same time. I move. And if I want to say movable, this paper is movable. I can move it. It is a root that means to move. That's one of the ones we've learned. We've also learned grad, and gress. They both mean the same thing. They both mean to step. Now, when you get to the end of high school, Brennan, what happens? You graduate. Here's that root. You step out into the next thing in your life. Let's say for you dancer girls, you get to the end of a particular level, and they're going to graduate you to the next level. If you're a silver, now you're a gold. If you do terrible and you're no good, they might demote you and move you down, but that's not usually what happens. So gress also means step. You can progress through the steps of your video game. You can progress through the pages of a book, step by step, getting something done. Gradual means little bitty steps to get things done. You make gradual changes, then you do things a little bit at a time. Another root that we have practiced is POS. Put it up here at the top. POS. Now this means, I have it on my tongue. This one means to place or to put. Now, words with POS. If I want to deposit money in the bank, I put money in the bank. POS means put. If I want to expose the terrible thing that you did, I'm going to put that out in front of others so they can see everything that you did. That's what POS means. If I want to post on TikTok or social media, or post something to my Snapchat story or anything like that, I put it out there for someone else to see. So POS means put. If you have a proposal, you put an idea out there for someone to accept. That's what POS means, to put. We've also talked about those little things that go at the beginning of a word. Joel, what are those things called? I stick them in the front of a word. Prefix. Good job. We've talked about prefixes. Now, the ones we've used are in, im, ear, and ill. Those are the four we talked about before. All of them mean the same thing. Nathan, do you remember what any of these mean? Like inactive and improper, irreversible, and illegal. Do you remember what these little bits mean? If you're impolite, are you being nice? No, you're not being nice, right? You're impolite. Every single one of these means what, Joel? Not. Means not. It's a prefix that means not. So if you see that little chunk in front of a word, you know it means not something. And then you have to figure out what the rest of the word means. So immobile combines not with move. So I know immobile means not able to move. Now, today we are going to learn two new ones. We are going to learn one new root and a new prefix. So the new ones are CRED, C-R-E-D. That's our root. It means believe. And we're going to learn a new prefix, actually two, D and dis. And both of those mean opposite. If I put D in front of M-O-T, demote is the opposite of promote, means to get moved down. To decline means to go down. So this is our new information, and I've made a slideshow in your Schoology folders for virtuals. It's going to be in the green folder. It says Greek and Latin roots, and it's a slideshow that gives words for these new roots, CRED and for D and dis. Now, because we are on a fancy little video here, I'm going to erase what's on the board. I'm going to switch it to the Elmo. I'm going to show you the words that go with the roots. All right, CRED, believe. Now, its root means believe, but when I add this other stuff to it, it means, it changes its meaning just a little, but the root is still believe. So, credentials. Credentials is a quality or a skill that makes a person suited to do a job. Well, that's a dictionary definition. I have credentials that say I'm allowed to teach, that I've learned everything I need to know to be a teacher. I have a teaching license. Bella, what does your mom have in her wallet that the cops want to see if they pull her over? Her driver's license is her credentials to show that she has the skill or the experience to drive a car. Let's say that somebody flies a plane. They're going to need credentials to show that they are able to fly that plane. When you go into a hotel, they give you those little fancy cards. It's almost like your credentials to get inside your room. Don't have it, can't get in the room. So credentials are show the skill that you have that you're good at. This word says credible. Now you've heard it most likely used as incredible, meaning not credible, but the word credible means believable. It is very credible that Brennan roasted P-dubs this morning. It's very believable. It's very credible that Bella had a gymnastics tournament recently. That's believable. That's what credible means, able to be believed. The one here at the bottom says creditor. A creditor is someone who loans you money. What's that have to do with believe? Well, if I don't believe you will pay me back, I am not going to give you my money. Ready? What I say? If I give you money, I want to believe you're going to give it back to me. So that's why we call it a creditor. I believe you're going to pay me back. The bank is your creditor. The next one. Creed. Now, we've all heard of Assassin's Creed. That's a video game. And we've heard of Apollo Creed. That was a boxer. There's a movie, I think, out about him as well. I don't think he's real. Creed is a belief, something you believe. Your family might have a creed. Maybe in your family you believe that everybody in your house should be nice to each other. And maybe it doesn't happen all the time, but you try for that. A creed also goes with a church or a religion. A church will have a creed or what they believe in, their beliefs. Incredulous. Well, I've heard this word used before, and it sounds really smart. It has two parts. It has in, which means not. It has cred, which means believe. Basically, the word means I can't believe that. Can't believe. So if Carter came in and said that over the weekend he went to California and drove all the way back, I would be incredulous. Number one, because it takes at least 2 days to get there by car. So there's no way you can go there over the weekend and drive back. Unless that's all you did was drive and not even get out of the car. So I would be incredulous. I would not be able to believe what it was he was saying. Yes, sir. Oh, but I said drive, and I said drive on purpose. Either way, it's almost 3,000 miles, so it would still take a couple of days. All right, so our next route is, the prefixes that we are studying are, and I don't have a paper for this. Yes, I do. Nope, didn't print it. D and dis. And these words are like displace, to move something. Like I can displace this pen. If I don't put it back in here, I've displaced it because this is where it's supposed to be. To displace a person, when we read that story about the refugees, there was a little girl who was displaced. She was not able to live at her house anymore because there was a civil war there. Yes, sir. Sort of. Displaced just means it's not in its regular spot. Now, I may know that I left it somewhere else. Misplaced is kind of like, I'm not sure where it is. So I've kind of lost it for a little while. So they're similar, yes. To despair is to not be happy, to be sad, to be brokenhearted. Yes, sir. It does have the same root in it. And POS means to place. Dis is the opposite. Your disposition is kind of how you act and what you're like as a human. Is your disposition a happy one or a sad one? So yes, that's what I'm saying. When you add these roots together, they do get somewhat of a different meaning than what the root is exactly, but they are all related. So I'm going to go ahead and tell the virtuals that you can find the study guide for all of these words inside your virtual folder and study it, read it. There will be a quiz in Schoology. So see you later.